The text came in at 9:14 p.m., sandwiched between a meme from my cousin and a photo of centerpieces no one had asked for feedback on. You're out of the wedding. It's only for real family. No punctuation, no explanation. The casualness of it was the sharpest part. I read it once, then set the phone down, pick it up again, read it a second time. I waited for the jolt, anger, disbelief. Something loud, but what arrived instead was a quiet recognition. A sense of course this is how she'd say it. We hadn't fought recently. That was the thing. There hadn't been a blow-up to point to, no obvious rupture. Just years of me being useful and forgettable in equal measure. I'd paid the florist deposit because my sister's card had randomly declined. I'd fronted the venue booking fee to lock in the date. I'd coordinated tastings, negotiated contracts, managed timelines, because I was good at that kind of thing. And because when I didn't, things stalled. I had told myself it was temporary. That family's evened out eventually. The group chat lit up before I replied. A laughing emoji from my aunt. Guess you're finally getting a break from my brother. A string of crying laugh faces from someone who hadn't spoken to me in months. I typed, great, then real family can cover their own bills. I hit send and put the phone face down on the table. More laughter followed. Someone wrote savage. Another added, you'll still come as a guest though, right? I didn't answer. I opened my laptop instead. The accounts were easy to find. I had organized them myself. A shared spreadsheet labeled wedding. Master sat neatly on my desktop, tabs color-coded. Notes meticulous. For a moment, I hovered over it, feeling something like grief. Not for the wedding, but for how much of myself I'd already poured into it, without noticing the cost. I didn't delete anything. I didn't sabotage. I did something simpler. I removed my card from the vendor portals, one by one. Caterer. Rentals. Coordinator. I updated contact emails to my sisters. I sent short, neutral messages. Hi, I'm no longer authorized to manage payments on this account. Please direct all billing to the primary client. No accusations. No drama. Just procedure. Then I went to bed. I slept better than I expected. By 6:42 a.m., my phone was vibrating itself off the nightstand. What did you do? The caterer says payment failed. Why is the venue calling me? This isn't funny. I lay there for a moment, watching the messages stack up, noticing how quickly laughter curdled into urgency once responsibility showed its face. When I finally sat up, there was a voicemail from an unfamiliar number. Hi, this is Jenna from Willow Ridge Events. The woman said, voice professional, unbothered. We're reaching out because the payment method on file was removed overnight. Without confirmation, we'll need to pause services. Pause services. The phrase had weight. It wasn't angry. It wasn't threatening. It was simply how systems spoke when assumptions stopped holding. I called her back. Yes, I said after she explained. That's correct. I'm no longer covering those costs. Understood, she replied. We'll update our records. That was it. No one screamed on the phone. No one needed to. The screaming happened elsewhere. By mid-morning, the group chat was unrecognizable. Accusations replaced jokes. My sister wrote paragraphs now, her tone swinging wildly between outrage and disbelief. You embarrassed me. You know I can't float all this at once. After everything we've been through, I typed, erased, retyped. Then I sent one sentence. You said it was only for real family. The typing bubble appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. My mother called next. She didn't bother with hello. You could have talked to us, she said. You didn't have to do it like this. I did talk, I replied. I responded exactly to what was said. This is about money now, she snapped. It always was, I said gently. We just didn't call it that. There was a long pause. I could picture her kitchen, the way she leaned against the counter when conversations slipped out of her control. So what do you want? She asked finally. The question surprised me. Not because it was asked, but because, for the first time, it wasn't assumed. I want nothing, I said. I'm stepping back. The wedding didn't collapse. Not entirely. Things were downsized. Plans revised. People who had laughed in the chat suddenly found themselves Venmoing deposits and arguing with vendors. The event went on, quieter and more expensive than expected. I attended as a guest, sat near the back, clapped at the right moments, spoke politely when spoken to. My sister hugged me stiffly after the ceremony. I didn't think you'd actually do it, she said, half a laugh in her voice. I know, I replied. We didn't talk much after that. The space between us wasn't dramatic, it just solidified like cooling cement. Some relatives stopped calling. Others reached out cautiously, testing whether I was still the dependable one. I wasn't unkind. I just wasn't available. Weeks later, I closed the wedding spreadsheet for good. Archived it, moved it to a folder I didn't plan to open again. There was no rush of triumph, no sense of having won. What there was instead was a quieter thing, the realization that being excluded had cost me less than being taken for granted. I went back to my life, lighter, if lonelier, more deliberate. And for the first time in a long while, when I paid a bill, it was one I had chosen.